Hey everybody! So today I'm going to show you how to use the stop motion animation app we used in the previous video and some clay or putty or Play-Doh, and we're going to use that to make a Claymation, which is just like a clay animation using stop motion. So I'm writing up some plans, and since I'm using clay, I'm just going to keep it pretty simple and just make shapes out of the clay. So I'm going to start with a simple ball, which I will roll in between the palms of my hands to get like a nice sphere shape out of the clay, and that's going to roll and change into a cube or a square. And so I'll mold that into the square or the cube, and that's going to kind of turn and roll into another shape. And I'm gonna have that turn into a pyramid or like a triangle shape, and that is going to sort of change or spin and turn into another shape. And I think I'm going to have it turn into a sphere again, like a circle, and then I'm gonna have that turn into like a snake or a worm, and he's gonna inch across the screen out of the frame. So here's my view in the stop motion animation app, and I am going to start by taking some photos. You can see I've got my clay. It's really nice and like round. I've taken my time to kind of mold that into a sphere shape in between my palms, and I'm going to start by taking some pictures. You can zoom in and out here using your fingers to pinch like you would on a touchscreen device, and it will let you kind of zoom in to where you want. And I'm gonna start by taking photos of an empty slate here, so nothing on the screen but the table, just so you can kind of see, because I'm gonna have this ball kind of roll into the frame. So I'm gonna start by taking a couple of photos of each frame, just like in the last video, and I am going to kind of have this clay sphere just slightly come into the frame one step at a time. So that it's just peeking in, and you really take your time with this. I'm gonna have quite a few videos following the rest of this process because it does take a long time to do this, but it's a lot of fun and you don't even notice the time passing. So I'm kind of just inching this ball across the screen, and it's going to give the effect that it's rolling all by itself. And I'm kind of pushing it into the table a little bit to help it stick where I want it to. So now I'm gonna flatten it out, and I think I'm gonna turn it into the cube, but I wanted to take a picture of the ball kind of just becoming flat because I felt like that was a good transition. I'm using that toggle button on the left there to kind of see where my last photo was taken, so I'm not too all over the place. So I'm taking a couple photos of the ball becoming flat. Now it's kind of turning on its side, and I'm going to start gradually shaping it kind of in between frames, so it looks like it's turning into a cube by itself. So the way you make a cube is you start with a ball and you kind of flatten it out like I did, and you take it on one side and you kind of flatten the edge, and then you turn it on its second side. You kind of make it have four sides, and you press all four of those sides into the table, the surface that's flat that you're working on, and it'll kind of form this nice cube. And if it becomes too long, like a rectangle, you just put more pressure on it to kind of make it shorter, and you just keep shaping it using the table as a hard edge. So you can see here it's starting to look more like a square or a cube. I'm just taking photos two at a time to make sure your eye has enough time to see everything happening. So I'm just going to keep shaping this until it looks like a really nice cube, and then I'm going to continue on with my plans. But this is the end of the first video, so make sure you stay tuned for the second one.